Let's do this thing. Where are we? Chat is open. Kill the sound. First person's in there. Good morning. The usual crowd, the usual suspects. Morning, guys. We do usual check here. Wi-Fi. It's okay. Drop frames. None. It looks good. We have 3-4 different Wi-Fi networks here. If this machine grabs the wrong one, we have trouble with the streaming. So I've always got to make sure it's got the correct Wi-Fi. Looks good. For those of you who were here when we left off, when was it? Monday afternoon. We're just continuing right along with what was going on. A never-ending stream of color blocks for this print. We should be able to get most of them down today. I don't know, 14 out of 16 should be done today. Five seconds past the hour. Okay, all right. I don't know how much I need to recap, how much I need to just assume that you know what's going on. That's a bad one. That's done. That's an average face. For those of you who were here the other day, you know how we do this. We work from the worst faces possible and also the best faces possible. I think we're pretty much okay for this set now. The worst wood and the best wood are already spoken for. So the rest are pretty much average. This one is not so good, so we're going to get rid of this one first. We had a couple of pieces of wood the other day where there were severe defects. So the point was I had to find a specific color sheet where the defects fell in an area that we didn't need. The blocks I've got left now for the most part don't have any strong defects. I'll be able to use them for anyone. But it was important to get that matching done first. Pick the perfectly smooth wood blocks for the parts of the image that had the perfectly smooth color, and pick the worst wood blocks for the ones that had open space. And there's one left here now. This wood block, Aoyama-san marked it for me. There's a big gouge along one side, which we can't use. So I've just got to make sure I pick a color sheet that doesn't interfere. There's also a hard spot up there. I think we're okay with this one. This is the orange, that hard spot. Doesn't fall in a color area. And if we put the registration marks in the usual place, that gouge will be outside the print. So we have a match here. Let's do this. This is what I'll be doing for the next hour or so, I guess. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them left. We're visible here. It's okay, I guess. What have I done? How much does a single block cost? It looks like quality wood. I have no idea how to put a price on it. We make them ourselves. We buy raw cherry from the lumber yard at a fairly steep price for like a chunk of a log. But we have no idea when we're buying it how much of it is actually going to be able to be turned into wood. There's so much waste. So I can't put a number, I'm sorry. When we were buying wood years ago, like 1999, the last wood supplier died. So going back 20 plus years, there was a set price. A block this size would have cost about, just a minute, that was 30. Would have cost about 7,000 yen for a block this size in good cherry. to use both sides. Now it's costing us way more than that. The raw wood alone is costing us that much, a bunch of wastage. Then we have to process it, we ourselves, with our own time. We laminate it, we built a press upstairs, we press it down, we plane it, we dress it. No idea what the number is. Okay, cut the registration marks. First drink of the day. Am I on camera? Yeah. Make sure the position lines up with what I did the other day. There's also confusion about this plastic thing. A number of people, they think this is now determining the position of the registration marks for the print. And actually it's not. I don't know, just a sec. I know those of you who are wearing headphones, I'm going to tap this, I'm going to bang. Ready? I'll give you 5 seconds to get your headphones off. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to normal. I know people are thinking this plastic is defining the registration marks, and it's not. I'm just putting them in the same position here with this plastic, just for convenience, just because we sort of know where things are. I'd like to have them all similar. But I could put the registration marks here. I could put them here. I could put them here. It doesn't matter, and we frequently do that. We'll sometimes put a double set of registration marks. If I'm using just the bottom of the block, we'll put another set. Or I might move them here, put a registration set here to use this part, and for this one to use this part. So this is not defining the registration. This is just convenience. What defines the registration? Well, in a minute. After I've cut the marks here, okay, the marks are cut now. Corner L mark and a single little tongue. Can you see it there? Now what will define the registration is the fact that the other day on the key block, and again those marks could have been cut anywhere, but I took the sheet, I printed it in the registration marks on the key block, wherever they were. And that sheet now, after I put glue on here, it's going to go in the registration marks on this block. So bingo, the information will be transferred from those marks to these marks. But where they are doesn't matter. This is just, just for convenience. Did you see that, by the way, the key block? I don't know if it's going to focus if I pull in. Some of this, we talked about it before, maybe there's newbies here. These splashes of magma or fire or molten metal, whatever they are, they're going to be yellow and orange. So what are they doing on the key block? It's black. They're here temporarily. They're here so that we can transfer that image, the magma, to the color block so we know where to carve. This is a block for orange. Once the color blocks are carved, excuse me, and we've done test printing, we come back to the key block and cut those off. It's the same thing. These marks will be yellow and orange. This magma will be yellow and orange. And it's only here temporarily. We needed to know the information so we can cut that area off the robot block. A bunch of extra work, but that's the way it's got to be. So where am I? Just a minute. Okay, we're going to paste this down. As again, let me do a last check on it. This is the block for orange. So we've got the area at the top, this area, this area here, there's orange here, there's orange here, and then all the magma and all those glowing parts on the robot's head. And again, to repeat again, this is the block for the orange. But looking at the original, the orange has tongues, it has flame. I'm not going to carve those yet. What I'm doing, this is stage 1 of the orange block, which is going to give me just an area, carve away everything else. And once the area is defined, we go back to Jed's Photoshop to get these flames and paste them on our wood to carve. I can't draw the flames here with any kind of accuracy. Alright, enough talk. Let me do this. Here we go. Water first. Moisten the block. Try to get just the right amount of paste. Too much and it'll slide, not enough and it won't grip. This looks pretty good. Very, very carefully. Pieces of wood in the way here. Just a minute. Too much wood. Right, Donny. We had one of these the other day that split off so perfectly. You know, what I do now, of course, I peel off this rough back sheet, leaving the gampi on the wood, and then I peel off the back of the gampi. It's usually a 2-stage process. But the other day when I peeled off this back sheet, it brought up half the gampi with it. It's really, really rare that everything would be just so perfect. This one's not going to do that. Here's the back sheet coming off. That's the backing sheet, leaving the gampi on the block. I've now got to thin this down a bit. So let's cut it in half. Just start through the halfway mark. And can you see what's happening? I don't know how close. Can you see? I'm peeling. I'm saying half, whatever, some portion of the gampi paper. So about 2/3 maybe is coming off, leaving just the front part on the wood. The front part, of course, is what has the image, so the carver can see it much more easily. This is a fun part. This is good gampi. We get some bad stuff sometimes, but this is very, very good stuff. I'm very happy. Here we go. Look at this coming off. Bingo. This actually, we could open it. This is a print. If I'd been a bit more careful taking it off. We can do that sometimes. It opens up. It's actually a print. I'm not going to bother with it now. Anyway, here we go. One down. That's the orange block. Good. Okay, now in the quest for looking for the worst block face. Again, that looks really good, a really good clean one. It's got some defects. This looks straight. Looks straight. Looks straight. Okay, the rest are all clean except for one. So let's take that one again. Following the same rule. Defects are this stuff. It's just hard spots, things like this. If they came up maybe in the middle of a face or something, it would really be not so good for it. There's only a few. This is not so bad. How are things going over there? Can I ignore you? Speaking of barons, we don't make our own barons. We buy them from Goto-san. We've got a combination of barons. Old ones we found on auctions and stuff, and new ones we order from Goto-san, Goto Kikuhide, a friend of mine who really does beautiful, beautiful work on baron making. So unlike most of our supplies right now, wood is difficult, paper is difficult, pigments are difficult. Barons themselves, there's one crazy guy like me making them. So we're still okay on barons. And there's a story last night, I can tell it now, I haven't been able to talk about it this week. There's been an auction. Yahoo auction here has all kinds of stuff on it. eBay doesn't run in Japan, it's Yahoo runs all the auctions here. And somebody put up an auction a week ago with 7 or 8 or 9, it wasn't quite clear, beautiful, beautiful old home barons. And a good home baron can run $600, $700, $800, $900 now. And somebody put an auction up with, as I said, about 8 of them on it. So we flagged it for attention and carefully watched it. Didn't tell anybody. And it was up yesterday around noon. And unfortunately, somebody else was really, really interested in those. And I gave up at $3,200. And he took them home. I would have liked them, but if I'm going to spend $3,000 on a bunch of barons, I don't need the antiques. We'll order them from Goto-san to make sure he gets the money. $3,000. What am I doing? One of these sheets that will avoid these spots. And I think it'll be this one. This will be the gradation up at the top. Nothing will be down here. This will be the gradation at the bottom. That should do that. We've got one here. This will do it. Yeah, a collector or something, or I don't know. The biggest fear of something like that is it could be somebody who knows me, who thinks, oh man, I gotta get these for Dave, He bids on it and brings it into me, Dave, can you reimburse me for this? In the meantime, I'm bidding against him, running it up to $3,000, you know what I mean? Yeah, we would have liked it. I was really, really sad. I had my finger on the trigger there for some more, but I just can't justify it. I just can't justify it. 4,000. I don't know where it would have gone. All right, incoming noise. Headphone people, be careful. 5 or so seconds to go. Are you ready? Here we go. We'll give it 3. 3, 2, 1. Two marks. Let's check them, make sure they're clean. Looks good. check the zones. I think we're okay. We've checked back and forth and back and forth. This is the red, so it only has to come down that far. In the corner, up at the top, little tiny swidge in here. There's nothing down here, nothing in this area. The blood we're going to do on different blocks. We're not going to overlap the background red and the blood red because it's going to be almost certainly different tones. There's nothing else in the middle, and at the bottom it's just going to be a flat zone for a gradation. We are good to go. What's the conversation there, somebody? Support your local barn maker. Yes, so. Did Dave say anything about the new hires made since the Patreon? Yes. Hires. We've got now 1, 2, 3. We've hired 3 shop staff since the Patreon campaign started, and the manager, quote unquote manager person, who is probably listening right now. He's on his way here on the train today. Started in October, and he's not doing anything for me yet. I didn't ask him to do anything yet. I've asked him to sit and wait and watch and drink. Drink our Kool-Aid, and just get used to what's going on here. And bit by bit, I will hand off work to him over the next few weeks and months. The Patreon campaign has done exactly what we asked it to do. It's brought me back to this bench. It's going to change my life, actually. And I'm not sure how we'll probably refocus it. Once things get settled here, and after the manager is in settled, and we look at our income, and the extra income that's coming in because of the work I've been able to do here, would mean we didn't need the Patreon. We can't ask Patreon to pay for our manager for forever and ever and ever. It doesn't make any sense. So once we're stable with this next stage of our business, this current stage, we'll go back to the Patreon people, and we'll, what can I say, renegotiate. Is that the right word to use? I will ask them about the next thing I'd like to do, and they can either leave because they've helped us get to this stage, or they can stay for the next project that we're going to propose. I don't know. It's too early to talk about that. There are so many things we would like to do, need to do. We tried to start a tool project 5.5 years ago, and it was actually started up and it was underway. I had prototypes ready. I had people lined up to buy the new knives and tools. Then I got broke, and Ukiyo Heroes came along, and it just took away all of our focus onto that. But there is a tool project, incipient, ready here. The preparation and the samples are all ready. There's an order from somebody from the website. So the tool project needs to be revived. We've got some of the paper, of course, mulberry. We need to try and help our paper maker get a supply of mulberry. And there's the idea that we can buy, rent, lease, borrow, steal some kind of mountain where he can grow mulberry on it. We've talked about that before. That's another potential project. Another one, of course, is we need an earthquake reserve fund. We have next to nothing in the bank. It just disappears each month to pay people. And there's a giant earthquake coming to Tokyo like tomorrow. I don't even know. Of course, we don't know. It's well overdue. Now, it's not going to destroy us because we have different parts of our business. We have online, we have subscriptions, we have stuff like that. But it's going to knock us out totally for a month, 2 months, 3 months, a year. We have no idea. Okay, here we are. This one's peeling off the gumpy with it. Look at this. Hey. I don't know if you can see it. The gumpy, part of the gumpy is coming back with the backing sheet. I have to be really careful because if it pulls up too much here. Look at this. We are getting another one. Look at this. Another one for the ages. Here we are. The gumpy split perfectly. Bingo. There it is. There's the gumpy paper. Half of the gumpy or so. Look at that. And the backing sheet came off. I shouldn't be looking at this one. I should be looking at this one. And here we are. All down, ready to go. Classic. Wonderful. Here's the front 1/3 or so, or half or whatever of the gumpy, glued on the wood. And this now is done. Trash. That paper is so strong. It's handmade paper, you know. We use spray glue to laminate it in, then I printed it. That's no big deal. But now it's wet. It's soaking wet with glue. This is still moist, wet. It's peeled up, and it's still It's such fantastic stuff. This is a usable piece of paper. I don't think I can get it all off, I think, the end of it there. It's going to tear at the end. There we are, and there's a ghost. Look at this. There's a ghost image. Look at that. That's so much fun. Anybody want this? Here, I'll set it aside. What should I do? Where's my folder? Here. I'll set it aside in my folder. Let's put a date on it. Let's have some fun with this. What is this? Today is October 11th. October 11th, 2017. DB. I didn't draw the picture, but hey, I made this thing. Who should we send it to? How should we decide? Let's talk about it. Okay, anyway, enough fooling around. More work. That one is now done. Now all the bad blocks, bad meaning, you know, obvious defects, are done for. So let's go the other way now. And let's look for the cleanest ones. These are pretty good clean faces. This is sort of good, but a couple of small points. These are the two cleanest ones. So let's use these for... So these deepest, darkest colors. That's going to be yellow. That doesn't matter. That's going to be skin. That's okay. These two now. This will be a dark, the deepest brown, which we want good, smooth, rich color. And this will be the deepest tone on the robot. Okay? One of these is going to be this deep brown, and one will be this deep blue-gray tone on the robot. So these two are important. So these two are going to go right now on these two blocks. Which one is which? Let's call that robot and call that brown. Out of my way here for a minute, sir. There's a little thing there, though. Just a minute here. Tiny defect there. Let's see if we can make sure it's not in any important area. Oh, it is. Oh no, it's off. Just a sec. Where are we? That's okay. Let's do this. Registration marks. Drink. Did you ever talk about your stream on time in Canada? Well, what can I say? I lived in Canada. I know. Where are we? Tool project. Campaign should be campaign. Typo in the scrolling text. Okay. Here it is. All right. Sorry about that. In a minute, I'll fix it. I know. Government issue toilet paper. There should be a bell sound sometime soon, right? Near 8:30. A bit of a special. I don't know. What time is it now? 8:30. So don't panic when you hear the bell. It doesn't mean the staff is coming. And Cameron's dropping by early this morning. The new manager, Cameron Sam. So he'll be here, I think, soon, actually. So don't panic when you hear the bell sound thinking that the stream is over. We've got a ways to go yet today. Okay, incoming sound. Headphone people, be careful. 3, 2, 1. This thing about that gampi peeling off perfectly, you know, it doesn't matter, of course. And there's a bunch of factors here. One factor is how much glue I put down here. One factor is how heavily hard I rub it, for how long, how much water soaks in. But another one is how much spray glue I used when I put these together, you know. And I did that quite randomly and roughly. You know, this gampi paper like this. It's attached to this like this, and I just spray. So all those factors combined are this peel-off thing. So please don't sit here holding your breath. You know, it's just a thing. Oh, look at that! Didn't quite get the corner. Potential small trouble here. I don't know if you can see it. The corner on this isn't quite 90 degrees. You know, it's got a little bevel at the top. It's cut down a little bit. And when I was doing the first printing, I guess I didn't notice it. So now I don't know, should I jam it in there or should I leave it in there loose? No real tragedy, no. If I even, for example, suppose I got it wrong. I was too busy talking to you guys and I get it out. Suppose, just for a minute, eh? Suppose I ended up gluing it in like this. Suppose I missed the corner because I'm too busy talking to you guys. Does that mean this print is destroyed? No, what it means is the carver would just carve it. Then when the printer came along doing the first test printing, this color would all be misregistered by, you know, that much out. But it would all be a smooth misregistration in one direction. So the printer would then just take a little shim of wood, jam a shim of wood in there, and keep printing. So a little bit of misregistration in that sense, just not getting it quite in the corner, doesn't matter because the block itself is inherently the same design. We just move our paper around. The critical part of this, when I paste these down, if I twist or distort the paper like this, then we can never print it because it doesn't matter how much you move up and down, you'll never get, you know, to match the same twist. If I had any older blocks lying around, when we're printing sometime upstairs, I'll show you some. The old blocks we use, they're just full of shims. Did I hear a question? What people have started to call an official question? Where am I? Back to the mail software. Twitch folder. Excuse me a second here, dang on. Twitch questions. There are questions. Oh, one was from yesterday. Look at this. Somebody's saying I've got an error here. The inside of the right elbow, there's a dark, deep blue zone. And on the other two, gray inside elbow. Just a moment here. Inside of the right elbow. There is. I've thought about this one actually. What this gentleman is talking about is this little point here. This is interesting. This, I think, is a mistake by Jed. We'll see. There's a blue tunic here, and there is some kind of darker background thing. It's a robot body or whatever. This small triangle here, is that supposed to be tunic or is that supposed to be background body? That's an open question. If it's tunic, if I carve it for tunic and it turns out wrong, I can always carve off that corner. But if I haven't put it on this background block, and this is a good point this person's bringing up. Let me sit here for a minute and see what I've done. Which one did I do? One moment, please. None of those blocks. I think I hear the front door. Okay, here we go. There's the background area, and it's not in there. Let's think about this. To leave most of my options open here, what I should do. Okay, here we are. It's on the tunic block, so whichever way we go, we can leave it there or we can cut it off later, no problem. Nothing to do with that block. Here's the underlying base gray. There's the background. It's going to go under the tunic, so it's on that block. No problem. We're covered. But, this one, this is the gray for the swirly storm color. It's also going there, and we didn't put it in there. Where is it? Should be in there. So I'm thinking this is a good idea. Whoever you are, sir. Oh, you've left me your real name. Thank you. Whoever you are, thank you. And let's do this, just for insurance. Let's put it in there. Because you're right, it's probably Jed's mistake. It shouldn't have had blue, I think. And if that's the case, there must be one more, because which one is it? Yeah, it's the one I'm doing right now. Talk about timing. Let's do this. Let's put it in there. Thank you again, team. Maybe this gentleman should get that, should get that sheet we just made. Is that a good thing, or I don't know? There's a bunch of people who've made similar suggestions. I got to be careful. There's another question. Printers, printers and carvers. We've got a bunch of printers working here who are very, very young, but carvers. Well, actually, I don't know what you've seen and what you've done. I know you've maybe heard me talk a year ago or so about what am I going to do for carvers, because we had a lot of printers, but we had no carvers. Over the past few months, things have changed pretty much totally the other way around. Jed's here. It looks like my mistake. Was I bad-mouthing you, sir? So, just we were talking about, right? So, the blue probably shouldn't have been here, and it should have been clearly the background. Anyway, right now we've got it covered. It'll go both ways, either way. Jed-san, good morning. Haven't seen you here for a while. Here we are. Here's Cameron coming. What he wants is to steal my keys. He wants to go get some keys copied this morning. Is that you, sir? Hi. We're live. We're live. It's fun this morning. I'm doing the paste down of these things, and just before I pasted this on, like seconds before I pasted on, there's a question in the chat. Dave, be careful. You've forgotten this little crook under this guy's elbow and whatever. No. And I go back and look, and well, yeah, I forgot, but I was led incorrectly. Look at this. See that little triangle thing there? Yeah. Is that tunic or is that background? Ooh. No, it could go either way, right? So. Yeah. And when Jed was doing it, Jed pasted it in. But when you think about it, look at this. That line comes up there. It's probably background. Huh. And the guy on the, Francois, somebody was on the thread saying, look out, look out. And I hadn't got it colored in. We're talking about it. And Jed's here. Jed's on the stream. Oh, hi, Jed. And Jed's in the chat, not on the stream. So, right. So what I've done now is I've put it on both of them. We'll do test printing and try and, see how it looks. But this, I mean, I've been emphasizing this. This is so difficult. This is like the third time already in this one print when these guys looking through this camera have caught a mistake. That's how difficult this is. Wow. But I mean, part of it also too is because I'm, chatting, talking, I'm walking and patting my head at the same time, so that's my excuse anyway, and I'm sticking by it. So it's good. It's really good fun. This is. These people are being useful. That's great. And Jed's chatting with him here, whatever. So. Okay, anyway, you want a key. What do you think, gang? You're making decisions here today. Do we give this man the shop keys or not? Oh, no.
As long as you don't mind getting up early and letting me in every morning. You said them too, right?
Yeah, you said you found a place at 9 o'clock. No way. I mean, really?
Yeah, they open at 9. It's
like who? Where?
A few
what?
blocks away, but
like an old hardware type style place.
That's what it looks like.
Are you
it's
sure
just
it's still
called
there?
Kaguya. That was the name on Google Maps.
On this street.
It's on Kokusaidori, the main bigger road over there, but not too far.
Good luck. I mean,
okay. I hope.
Did you actually do the Google Walk to see if it actually is still there?
Yeah, it looks like it's still there.
Go for it.
All right. Good. And they even have a website running. I was surprised.
Okay. All right. Good.
So,
yeah, of course. I know. Whichever way. There's cash in the box. Use your own money, bring a receipt, and the girls will cash you out when they get here today. They have a petty cash system here.
Okay.
Which I don't really not supposed to touch. So at the moment, can you just use your own money for now? Bring the receipt back, and they will.
Okay, they'll help
reimburse you. Yeah.
Sounds good.
They've taught me, Dave, keep your hands out of that box because like receipts are here, receipts might not be there, and Teiko-san especially. My God, if I touch that, she will have my balls.
Don't get yourself in trouble.
So. What am I doing? Dave, check, double check. Camera came off. No, I left the door open. He emailed me before to say, please leave the door open. So. Not allowed to use petty cash. It's true. Give me a break. Okay. Also today I'm off for a treatment this morning. Okay. So I'll be gone.
Most of the day.
No, I'll be gone till about 1 or 2. Okay. Before you go, there's a couple things. I know there a few orders came in last night. So once I'm finished here, like at 9:30 or so, there's some orders came in last night. So I was going to process them. I thought, wait. Let's do it together so you can see how that's going to work. So.
I'll be back soon then.
And there's also a couple of emails I have to do. My Japanese is so bad. I'm going to.
Please. Yeah. Glad to help.
Okay. I'll be doing this though till 9:30.
Okay. So. I'll be back well before then.
No problem.
We get a couple things done before. They don't open for almost 20 minutes.
So you're still early. Yeah. Okay. Hey. Yeah, I can't. That email is on here. I can't double up here. Sorry. Yeah. Soka.
Okay. Working on the spreadsheets.
Well, there's also you can wake up the shop computer, and overnight, there's a bunch of party reservations.
Oh yeah, I'll write those on the calendar.
Something, yeah. I did a couple of them. Maybe I didn't do them all. I don't remember. So whatever. This is crazy, This is supposed to be actually really careful, detailed work, And to do it the way I do it these days, surrounded by people, chatting, talking, not to make an excuse myself, but the reason some of these mistakes are here is because of the way we're doing this, There's nobody else in town who would do this, try and do this kind of work and talk to people on the other side of the planet at the same time, It's absolutely insane. They're not secretive in the sense of being secretive. They don't want anybody to see. It's just common sense, You just do your work peacefully and quietly,
Oh, sorry. Wrong light.
Camera on. Put it back.
I did. Why won't it turn on? There we go. Right. Sorry about that.
Okay, no problem. Is he fired yet? If they're behind the iMac. Like he doesn't have ESP, doesn't know where the light switches are yet. So this is going to be fun. The next few months here, it's going to be fun. Okay, I got the wrong glasses on. Drink up, guys. I think we're going to get a clean one here. So the spray glue must have been very light. Just pump, off it comes. So here we go. My job to peel it off. Unfortunately, by peeling it off, I make a mess of it, few fibers there. Don't rub too much, Dave. It doesn't matter. We go on our little triangle under his elbow. Okay, one more bites the dust. What have we got left here? Two faces here. One. Okay, 3 faces left. Do we have time? What's the time here? 8:30. We're okay. We're okay. We're okay. This one. Oh, is the jet still here? Jet, are you still here? Have you gone? Jet's here, I think, still. Okay, Jet's on. I didn't talk to you about this, but here's one of the things that we had to really wrestle with on this print. Color overlays, Nate. There's this border, orange and yellow. So do we need to carve an orange fingers and yellow fingers? No, as you know, whatever. The yellow goes underneath the orange, the yellow goes underneath the red. So we just carve an orange block on top. Perfect overlay, no problem. Again, red, we carve a red block goes on top because the yellow goes under the orange, goes under the red. You know all that. There's one place you've asked us to do this, and it's these, what are they, the tentacles, the sort of cuffs on these tentacles. We've got the brownish tone, which could have yellow underneath it, and we've got the blue tone, and there's no lines between them. So I can't run the brown under the blue and then put the blue on top, because of course that doesn't work. And I can't run the blue under the brown and put the brown on top, because that doesn't work. Either way would give us green, because the brown has a yellow in it and the blue has a blue in it. So we couldn't overlay these, but because there's no line, we have to butt them. And there's no lines on the block, so what do I do? So what I've done, or what I'm going to do is this. It's a 2-stage process. I've drawn by hand those cuffs onto the block that will become the brown block. And we will paste this down, and we will carve this one first. Then when it gets to the block for the other one, the tentacles, let me see if I can find it here, excuse me. So, this will be the block for the tentacles. We're going to carve it stage 1 just as a shape of the whole thing. And before we start printing it, I'm going to take the brown block and print that and paste it onto here. And that will show me the layers that our carver has carved for brown. And we then carve those areas off this block. But it's not going to be so simple because, again, it's what we call kenuki awase in Japan. The distance of one fine hair. Because if we cut one the wrong way around, we get an open space in between. And if we cut too much, we get an overlap. So this is the single place on this print that gave me the most head scratching how to do it. Because there's a gray that could go under both of them, but the yellow can't go under both and the blue can't go under both. Anyway, talk too much. Let's go. Let's do this. Which glasses am I supposed to be wearing? And that's this block right now. Here it goes. This is the brown block, all carefully drawn in. Okay, hammer sound incoming. 5 seconds. Headphones off, please. 5, 4. Headphones are trouble with noise like this. 3, 2, 1. I didn't catch that, and nobody was yelling at me, but there's a couple of people. Ouch! Also, I set up the new mail account for you last night, so when we're talking today, I'll
You already had everything already updated.
I did. I forgot. That's why I started my normal morning routine and got half it done. Then I realized, wait, Dave, don't do this
you don't
anymore.
Have to do all of it anymore.
Well, you do still have to do, but let's do it together for a while. Whatever's going on.
Right.
I was just about to start the orders, and I realized, Dave, stop this. So don't misunderstand. This is not like I'm resisting this. It's just simply routine. 25 years routine is what it is.
Yeah.
So.
Makes sense.
But the parties, although do, as we talked about this before, as it happened this morning, there wasn't a cancellation for today or something.
Right.
But the party checking is going to have to happen earlier in the morning. So whether, because of my lifestyle, I'm still, even once you start, your own hours, I'm the 6 o'clock in the morning, the first thing I do is look at that thing. You've got a wife and kids. So I think I'll still be just doing that from common sense reasons,
So I still wake up pretty early. And
yeah,
Jamie doesn't wake up until...
But the last thing I want is a lifestyle where you're waking up at 6 and coming online and I got to get busy. We talked about this. That's cool for me, but it's not cool for everybody else.
Oh, thank you.
What am I doing? Again, talk too much here.
Sorry,
No, it's okay. It's okay.
The key shop, I'll be back.
All right. Catch you soon. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's make a series where Dave plays the games of the prints he makes. That happens here all the time. I mean, it doesn't happen that I'm playing. This conversation comes here all the time. People in the shop. There's a Taito station in the block behind us, and there's an Adora's game center in the next block. So we got these two game centers here. And in the Taito station, there's I don't know what it's called, I don't know, Mario, whatever. There's two things side by side where two people sit and they do the Mario, whatever, round. And so many people say, Dave, let's go. Come on. Get up back. Let's do this, And of course, they want to destroy me. It's okay. It's fun. But I refuse. Not in a bad way. I just say, no, look, I'm sorry. I don't do the games. And half of it is kind of a joke. Jed does the games. I do the prints. But there's half of it that is semi-serious here. I think Jed and I have sort of talked about this before. Jed sees this as a gamer. He knows what games are popular. He knows what the characters mean, all that stuff. I don't know anything about that, and I don't want really to know anything about that. And I'm being semi-serious here, The thing we do when the conversation goes this way in the shop, I go to the section of old prints. We've got a bunch of old prints here from the Edo time and Meiji time. And a bunch of those are kabuki plays. So I'll pull up one of these prints. It's 1840 or whatever it is, and there's people acting or dancing or violence or whatever it is. And I'll say to the person in the shop, hey, do you know about this play? Do you know all the details of this play? And they're like, it's a rhetorical question, because of course they don't. They don't know the name of the play, they don't know the name of the actor, they don't know what's going on. And I'll ask them, okay, well, why is this here in the shop? Who's going to want this, And of course, people still love these prints because they're such gorgeous visual productions. So they're working at two levels. Remember, the people who bought it back in 1840, they knew the game. They knew the play. They knew the actor. They bought it for a large part because they liked that play or actor or episode or whatever it was. 1850, 1860, 19, whatever the time goes by. A knowledge of the play and of the actors disappears bit by bit, but the designs were made so well, they're so good, they're so vivid and so alive that even when you don't know the background, they are useful, viable, drop-dead, beautiful works of art. And sometimes, Jed's listening here, so it's okay. Sometimes I think Jed gets too much caught up in, oh my God, this is a popular game, we've got to do this one. And he will draw it as well as he can. But I want pictures that will not just reflect the popularity, but I want pictures that will still have meaning and be enjoyable long after we're all dead. So it's better for me to stay away from the games, to stay away from the characters, so that I can look at these things just as I'm jumping to the future, the person who doesn't know the backstory, saying, is this useful? Is it a beautiful print? Does it do all those things, even when you don't know the game? And Jed and I sort of, not argue, that's the wrong word, but we're a little bit at cross purposes here. He's sometimes frustrated when he does an image that he thinks is, one, really a good image and beautiful and interesting, plus popular, and that I don't quite perhaps agree with him on all of those things. So it's okay. So I'm not going to go play Mario Kart. He's going to do his part of it, live and breathe the games and make the characters. And I'm going to look at it from a more, what's the word, a distant point of view. So I think it's important. I'm a game virgin, and I'm going to stay a game virgin. This one's coming off. Woot. Look at this. We've got it. Here we go. Half the Gampi is coming off with the backing sheet. Oh, not quite. Ah, well. X%. Here it is. Let's do this. Can you see where we are? There we go. The Gampi is coming off with the backing sheet, leaving about 1/3 of it on the block. We have another sheet to pass out to somebody. Here we go, here we go, here we go. We made it to the end. So what we have here, again, this one's a little bit torn, but the Gampi came off with the backing paper. I'll try and get it off later once it's dried a bit. But the main attention, of course, is this one. Look at this, so nice. The carver is just drooling when he sees this because these are so clear and so sharp. And again, this is a block for the brown gears and stuff and arms and patchwork on the head of this robot creature. And part of the sword. All right, what's left? Two more faces. Actually, there are 4 more faces to go. I'm only going to do 2. What we've got here, I'm going to do 2 more. This is the body tone and this is the yellow tone. And the reason I'm not going to do the final 2 is this. One of them, well, I'm not going to get a long explanation. One of the 2 that are left, it's the pattern that's going to go on this background thing, and it's going to be done in front rubbing, in shomenzuri. As we've talked about before, shomenzuri means the block has to be reduced in size. So I can only do that after we've started printing. And the other one is the blood number 2. We've got 2 layers of blood. Jed gave me he gave us a dark red and a light red, a splash and a deeper one. And I've traced the lighter one onto one of these sheets and pasted it down, but I can't do the same with the darker one until the lighter one is printed. So today we won't see those 2 blocks for the blood number 2 and for the pattern being made. So I've got 2 more to go. Which one is which? That's yellow and this is hada. Do we have any defects in the blocks? There's a defect there and a defect there. Let's see. Oh, right on the arm. No good. Clear. Right on the arm. No good. That one's going to go yellow, but if I do that, am I going to get in worse trouble on the back? That looks good. That's good for the skin block. Yellow background, that defect is clear. That's nowhere near it. Not so good. Let's try this way around. Here we go. Good combination. Let's go. Okay, 2 more to paste down. Another Gampi split. You guys are crazy. Were there questions that I didn't hear? I think we're okay, right? Nothing in the question box? No. Dave, talking about Dave. Leave it. You guys got Jed here. Ask Jed some stuff. It's not such a common chance to get to talk to the man himself here. Oh, there's something you can't talk about. Jed, you're coming to Japan, right? Sometime this fall. What should we do? Should we do one of these Twitch streams? Should have Jed sitting here? What should we do about this? What kind of work should we be doing? I know you're coming for a sketching trip. You're going to be out of town for most of it, but you'll be in Tokyo for 1 or 2 days, right? Oh, look at this. I'm making it wet. I didn't cut it yet. Dave, talk and do. Talk and do. Somebody's probably already yelling at me. You're about to forget the registration marks. Got it. Got it. I caught this one. Hi, hammer sound incoming. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Didn't get it quite deep enough. Looks good, not too much. Choop. Peeling off. Let's try and get a clean one. Oh, we lost the corner. Here we go. Looking good. Looking good. We've lost the corners, but the rest of it seems to be coming okay. This Gampi is really cooperating this week. Look at that. We have another liftoff. Very nice. So we may have 3 or 4 sheets of this stuff to be able to pass out as little, I don't know, souvenirs. That's enough, that's enough. Don't go too far, Dave. Another clean one. This will be the block for the yellow area at the top of the print, background behind the hero. And it'll be the block for the magma or whatever it is and the pattern on the robot. As I said before, with the information here is going to transfer. After we've carved this yellow block, we'll go back to the key block and cut that off. It's called mudabori, wasted carving. I think now we have 1 left. This is it for this morning's work. 1 sheet left. What time is it? 9:06. Okay, we might be finishing a bit early. Who knows? Lost a corner. No clip for this one. Ha 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 ha. Frames dropping. We are dropping frames. Look at this. What's going wrong? Wi-Fi's okay. Oh, he woke up the other computer. I asked him to wake up the other computer and it's doing a backup or something at the same time. Whatever, I can't help it at the moment, I'm sorry. We're going to drop a few frames here, hopefully not too many. Anyway, good conversation. You guys go for it. I got 1 more sheet to do here. How did I do these? I think I'm just dropping them on the floor. Whatever, I'll sort them out later. We may have 3, we may have 4. I don't know, no idea. There's a question. Hammer sound incoming. 5 seconds. Headphones, be careful. 3, 2, 1. This is a funny one, you know, I didn't get a chance to answer it. One of the last week or so, whatever, I read these chats after the event. You know, have my lunch, I'll read this one. And somebody in there, they asked about this blue rag. What's the deal? They said it looks pretty beaten up, whatever. And there's nothing special. It's a rag. You know, of course, I didn't want to scratch the bottom of the block while I'm working on the top of the block. And I think they said, how old is it or something, as a bit of a sarcastic comment. I don't know, whatever. And I sat there eating my lunch, looking at the chat, how old is this blue rag? And I had to think, where did I get it? And I got it from, you know, this goes back. Living in Canada, like 30 years ago, I married a Japanese girl. I met a Japanese girl over there. We had a couple of kids. This is, you know, 35 years ago. We came to Japan. The first time, it would be 1979 or something, in 1981. And it would have been maybe on that trip, 1981 or 1982 or something, we went to visit her old home, you know, where she used to live, where she grew up. Her parents were still alive at that time. They were living, whatever. And her room, that used to be her room, where she was a school student, was still there. Like, it wasn't that they had preserved it. It was that once the kids were grown up, they sort of shut the house down bit by bit by bit. And there's this room upstairs that nobody else used. And when we were staying there with them, that's where we put the futon on the floor and we slept there. And her old school desk is there from when she's like 15 in middle school. And in the drawers, there's her calligraphy pens and a couple of old beaten up textbooks and stuff. And she's like geeking out nostalgically on this stuff. And what this blue thing is, I needed a piece of cloth at that time to do one of my practice prints or something, start from scratching the block. And I pick up this blue cloth, which at that time was a nice, clean, beautiful blue cloth. And what it was when you're doing calligraphy practice, you put something like this cloth on the table, you put your calligraphy paper on top of it, you've got a metal bar that sits at the top so things don't move, and you get your ink, blow, 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 ink, 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 and then you do your calligraphy. You've seen this everywhere. You'll see YouTube videos or whatever, people doing calligraphy. There's a light cloth at the bottom with the paper. So she is, whatever. So I threw it in my bag and blang, blang, and here it is. The cloth I'm using now for still protecting my wood blocks is the cloth that my ex-wife used when she was like 15 years old in middle school. And whatever, I'm now 65. I don't have any idea how many years this goes back. But there it is. Talk about recycling. Don't overanalyze this story, okay? Where's my sheet? This is the skin color. A bit wet, I'm not sure. Let's try it anyway, it doesn't matter. No dry spot there. Come on, Dave, get your act together. Getting hot, hey. We had some chilly days last week. Here we are, it's just going to peel off. The spray was really light, so here we go. So, no gift this time. So I'll just... Who is this? Could be camera coming back, or it could be the regular staff coming in. Here we go. Look at this, it's going to peel off. Huh? Back, back, back. I never know who it is. Who's in duty today? It's Wednesday. It must be Shiba-san and Audrey-san, maybe. I don't know.
Audrey-san?
The French girl? You haven't met her yet? Oh, no. Ishikawa-san found this young lady somewhere. She met her on the street, whatever. The lady's looking for work. She speaks English really well. She's working as a trainee. She speaks French. I mean, she's teaching French here in Tokyo, but she's working as a trainee. Here we go. This one's coming off partway. We spoiled the top of it. I'm not talking to you.
But I was...
We get this now all the time. I'll be sitting here. Teiko-san will come through. She's thinking I'm talking to her. Who am I talking to? So people now have learned to ignore me. When they see me in this room talking, it's either Dave is talking to himself or Dave's talking to the stream. Or sorry, Cameron, I was just joking. Let's see what we get. Here we go. This is cool. This Gampi paper, this Japanese paper. What's happening is we laminate it onto the Gampi paper by itself. Doesn't it's not manageable. We can't print on it. We can't put it through a laser printer or something. So we laminate it to this stiffer paper, paste it down, and now what I'm doing is peeling off, and the Gampi is splitting. Some of the Gampi paper, 1/3 of it or so, or a half, is staying on the block, and the rest of it's coming off. So the carver can perfectly, beautifully see. Look at this. Hey, we got a lot of it. Good, 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 good. Not sure about the top here. I can't unroll that. It's such cool paper. Such cool stuff. Here we go. And here's the last one for today. This is the block that will become the color block for the face and the skin tones. And that's it for this morning. Like I said, there's 2 more, but I can't do them until we've gone partway through. But let's recap. Let's recap before I sign off. Drink. Geez, it's getting hot. It really is going to be a hot day here. Okay, there we go. 1 block for the skin tones. This block will be yellow background behind the character, and it'll be magma and yellow on the robot. Another one. This will be a block. It'll be a gray block. What is this one? No, this is the block that will be the smoke swirls. Oh, Jed's still here, not whatever. Jed's giving me a bunch of smoke swirls here, or it's water or smoke. I think it's smoke. I can't draw those on here, so what we'll do is we're going to carve a block for the area first. And once the carving is done, I go back to Jed's master, print out some Photoshop stuff, and paste it on here. So this will be a 2-stage block. Area first, detail later. The other side, this is a 2-part block. This will be the red gradation up at the top, which again, 2-part block. Area first, detail later. The bottom will be just carved as a flat area. That's where the gradation comes up. You'll see Jed's asked for a deeper tone at the bottom across all colors. We'll print that with this block. What else have we got? Here we are. This will be the orange at the top. It's area first, detail will come later. Magma and robot. This is the brown block I showed you a minute ago. It's got all those cuffs on this. It'll be the brown of the robot's arms and the patchwork on its head. This is a block for the light brown. It'll be the hair of the character. It's the claws of the robot. It underlays part of the robot joints. And it's got things like the edge of his tunic and bits and pieces here and there. The other side, this is the block that's going to later become that deep, dark gray-blue tone on the robot's tentacles, and it'll have parts carved out of it later on, these brown parts. It's also the block that's going to be used for that background part that's either robot body or background. We still don't know. Here we are. This is one of 2 blocks that at the moment is identical. This will be for blades. At the moment we're just cutting the shape of the blades, swords, and once the shape is cut we come back to this block and paste on the pattern that Jed wants for the light blue color. You'll see another one in a minute. This is a light gray. It's going to underlay all kinds of stuff. It underlays the smoke, it underlays the brown, it underlays the background, it underlays his tunic, it underlays, you name it. Anything that's deep and dark on this print is going to get this one. Moving right along, here's the other one of those blues. The blades have a 2-tone blue, so we need to do this twice, a light blue and a darker blue. So this is another block for the blades. The Gampi didn't come off that one very well at all, but it's okay, we're functional. And the last one is his tunic, which I've kept separate, even though there's other blues in this print. There's blues on the blades, there's blues on the robot thing. We've kept this separate so that we can give it a different tint and a different temperature. And we caught that little thing under his arm. We don't know yet whether it's going to stay here or whether it's going to come off. Still missing are the 2 blood blocks. The light red blood and the dark red blood. And the block for the pattern that will be embossed in front rubbing, Shomenzuri. There we are. Young Chon-san is now going to get to work. He's been waiting for this, and while he's been waiting, He's been working on the key block carving for the next of these. I forget the names. Jed's got names. It's the two boys with those huge swords, the long thin sword and the big fat sword. That's a fun one, and I'm really going to enjoy doing that. He's carving the key block for that one right now. And I think I'd better get going. It's going to be a busy, busy, busy day here. What's happening tonight? I'm not sure. I'm supposed to do a stream at 5:30 tonight. I don't have a specific desk job lined up for me. I've got computer work. I got to program the survey for the Kickstarter campaign. I've got to do staff stuff. So I'm not sure. There may be no stream tonight. I'm sorry. I've got to get this organized now. The next real carving work for me is back on the octopus, which we can't do here. And then after that, the next job is the New Year's card. Jed is going to send over sometime soon a design for the New Year's card. So I can be carving that here. So I'll have to think about this. I'm not quite sure what job I'll be doing. And I may not be here tonight then. I'll try and line up something so I can do this tomorrow morning. Meteoric power. That's it. You've got it. Thanks, guys. Okay, I'm off for now. Thanks very much for watching. I'll have a read through the chat to see what's been going on, and I'll see you next time I see you. Thanks again. Step 1, video off. Step 2, stop streaming. Thanks again, guys. Bye-bye.